everybody. I'm Kishiro Alafadeko.
And I'm Sessa.
Hi, I am Live.
And
welcome to the Unfiltered
Podcast.
Podcast.
I promised I was going to bring my shekere, but unfortunately, no shekere today.
This
We'll bring
shekere
it
must
next
buy
time.
it.
Yes,
We have to
next
buy it.
time, I promise. Now I'm looking like a liar, but anyways, how are you feeling today?
I feel good, especially
It's
the
obvious.
topic we're talking about. I
This
feel
your
very
lipstick is
good.
lipsticking. It's giving.
Please.
I just go back vibe. I just
You
go
know,
back.
As a daughter of Zion that I am.
Of course. How are you feeling, Light?
Tired.
Very obvious.
Sorry.
But you can do all things through Christ.
Exactly.
And thank you for making it
Strength
today at
into me.
least.
Yeah.
So welcome guys once again. This episode is something that is very dear to my heart. I can talk about this particular
All
topic
day.
every single day of the year and I'll not run out of profound insight on it because it's something that I've experienced over and over. And basically the topic is about finding and building your own tribe. And it's just something that I feel like is very, very necessary that we talk about, considering the fact that people are consistently talking about how they are having to do life alone by themselves. You come on social media one day, you hear somebody saying something like, oh, I went through this, somebody lost somebody, unfortunately nobody reached out to me, so I'm cutting people off. And you begin to wonder, what exactly were you guys doing in that relationship that made them not understand that the process you're currently going through is something so important? So I'd like to just throw it to you, sister. What do you think about, what exactly does tribe mean? What does that look like for you? What does that connote to you?
Okay, for me, I'll say tribe is my personal community for me because I feel like-minded people should be together. I don't know if I'm sounding selfish, but that is me. Okay, we have to be on the same thinking level, wave level, faith level, business level. As in, we just have to
Everything should
connect.
just gel.
If there's a disconnect, then there's a problem because I tend to draw back into my shell. I'm not even someone that likes to confront people, or I like my space a lot. So we have to be like-minded. For me, I cannot be in a relationship or anything with someone that is lousy. I'm not a lousy person, so you cannot even find that person in my tribe. Okay, I'm someone who likes to reach out to people a lot, even when I'm going through my own situation. So for me, a tribe is my personal community. There has to be a connect here.
Okay. Like, what does that look like for you?
I do agree with Sessa.
Yeah.
My tribe is my community, like my people. Like I like to say people who are dear to my heart. Like I treasure every one of the people in my community, the people that I associate with, the people that I recognize as a part of. It's almost like an extension of me. Like
Yes.
it's
That's the word.
it's dear to me, right? And that's why when something happens, it touches me. I feel like this tribe matter is deep.
Yeah.
Like it's really deep.
It's a
Yeah.
serious one, actually.
Definitely. I think for me, tribe just basically means my family. That's the truth. And that's why I always tell people that you don't define every relationship in your life the same way because they're not the same thing to me. They don't stand in the same position. They don't represent the same thing to me. So I'm not going to, you don't even expect me. Even if you expect me, I'm not necessarily required to oblige or meet your expectation concerning me, especially if I don't see you in the same way and all of that. But for me, tribe is just family, the people I get to do life with, the people that I've decided to like work with in a particular season. Because again, they are not always going to be there. They might be there forever, which is a blessing, but they don't necessarily stay there forever, which is something I think we should just dive into. What's the whole context behind finding your tribe, building your tribe? I've heard people say they don't know how to. People would tell me over and over. If there's one question I get every time, it's like, Kisha, how do you even meet your friends? Because I have amazing friends. And whenever I talk about my friends, they're always asking me, how do you meet them? How do you have female friends that are giving you money? How do you have female friends that are sending you money? How do you have female friends that are taking you to spa? It's something that is very, very like wild to other people. And every single time I just try to explain to people that it's not something that we experience randomly. It's not something I stumbled into. It took a lot of process. A lot of work went into that. Some things that my friends do to me, I do to them, didn't just happen by chance because she's a good person and all of that. So what's your own perspective or perspective of what that building process should look like?
Well, like I said, for me, my tribe is an extension of me. It's an extension of me. It's an extension of you. Okay. So like I said, there has to be a connect. That is how you meet your tribe. There has to be you connect now. That is why you find each other.
So you
Basically,
connect.
yes, you find each other because
Yeah.
how else would you build your tribe? Okay, so there has to be a connect because, and again, having a tribe means you have a support system.
Yeah.
So you need people who are willing to be that support system, and of course you be a support system too. Because most
Definitely.
times it's always one way, and I don't support that. So
Definitely.
it's more of people being a support system. So you need people who can actually be that. So let me give an example of my experience. So in 2023, I had a very bad ordeal, and I knew the importance and experienced the importance of a tribe. I mean,
Yeah.
I could pick up my phone and say, girls, this is what is happening, and everybody rallied down to pray for me. We're praying. This one is telling me this one, this one is telling me this one. Like, I had a health issue and all of that. So, and they were there all through, spiritually, financially. Like, I was telling people that I did not spend 1 naira
Wow.
to do that surgery. Like, my money did not come
Enter
out.
into it.
You get, my friends, they connected, they called themselves, and it was amazing. And that's what a tribe does, in different wavelengths.
Capacity.
So you should be ready to be a support system, and you should also know that your tribe is your support system. Your tribe is an extension of you. So if you're not connecting, then I don't know, what's that person doing with you? You agree with me, right?
I totally agree. And I love the fact that you shared how they came around to be there for you when you needed them.
Yeah.
Unlike what we have in our society right now, where it's more of competitions. Like everyone is competing. It's as though when we support Kishi and Kishi begins to shine, she stops us from shining. Right? And we do not recognize that in Kishi's shine is my shine.
Yeah.
In her growth is my growth.
Exactly.
Right? Because even her growth compels me to also step up to, how the level of, impact she's making even in that season into the world around her. So it's very important that we recognize that when we talk about tribe, we're not talking about a group of ladies who gather together to take sides, to look for who is more brighter than the other, who is more outgoing than the other, who is more beautiful than the other. It's how can I feed you? How can I help you to grow? How can I support you to become all that you're supposed to be, or all that God has called you to be?
Yes.
Because I recognize that how scripture says two cannot work together except they agree. You can't have someone in your tribe who is not on the same path with you. I love how she also said that people on her tribe are also people who are spiritually on the same wavelength with her. People who are also thinking the same way, business wise. So it's not like I'm working so hard and you're like, count me out, right?
Yeah.
So it's very important that we recognize where you are going, and that's key. Knowing where you're going and who is permitted to journey with you
On that
Yeah.
journey.
Yeah.
Permit me to say people that share the same values with you,
Yes.
the same interests, the same life goals,
Yeah.
your faith, that is what you should be looking for
Yeah.
in your tribe.
Amazing. I don't totally agree with that though, because one thing, having different people in your life, it just means you meet different people, and it just means you experience and encounter different value system. My value system is a lot of family, love, excellence. Those are key things that matter to me in life. Doesn't mean it matters to all my friends. I have a friend that always tell me, in fact, I'm a go-to person whenever she has conversation with her parents and they bother about marriage. She calls me and be like, Kishi, do you think I'm making a mistake deciding not to get married? I'm like, never. It's your choice. Live with it. And one of the way you live it with is like intentionally showing people that you don't care. Because if you show people that you care, they will begin to question yourself. They will make you question your own decision, right? My own is to just know that you're making that decision from a standpoint of, this is what I believe God is saying to me and all of that. So does
But
that
do
mean
you think that her choosing not to be married means that she does not value family?
That's what I'm trying to say. What I'm trying to say is, that's what I'm trying to counter. When I said we don't necessarily have the same goal.
True.
Everybody
True,
that know
true.
me know how much I love family.
Okay,
Yes,
so
I
sorry
get
to
it
cut
now.
in.
Yes.
When I say same value, same interest, same life goals, yes, of course, we have different people. We are all
Exactly.
different.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is there should be a point
A
in the middle.
Similarity.
Yes.
Point in
Where-
the middle or similarity. Like, fine, you're different. You like some things, I don't like some things.
Yes.
But doesn't mean that we
But
should
there are
be
moral
way
things,
Like the
apart.
disparity is
Yes,
so
there
wide
should
apart.
be something similar. There should be, let's meet in the middle.
Yeah,
There should be
I
something.
feel like at the end of the day, that's even like the starting point that defines the kind of friends you are.
Yeah.
Because again,
Yes.
understand this thing. What we're talking about right here is not necessarily just general community. Which is something I always tell people. The fact that we're colleagues, we're in the same school, same department, same class, core members, same CDS, all of this thing doesn't make me your friend. And
Yeah.
I'm not going to feel bad for not seeing you as a friend because you're not my friend. We only happen to occupy the same space in the same time.
Can we just speak into that, right?
We need to.
Because there are people who find validation. They find self-esteem from acceptance.
Yeah. Everybody
and
has
it's
to
a-
The
like me.
fact that you accept
You're not
me,
jollof
the
rice.
fa-
Everybody
and
cannot like you.
it's a
I'm
very
sorry.
dangerous thing. Do you know why it's a
True.
You need to
dangerous
come
thing?
to
I was
terms with
once
that.
like that where, and for somebody like me with a prophetic gift where validation matters to me, so I will share a word, I will look for somebody to validate and say, yes, I hear God saying the same thing too. God dealt with me on that thing. It made me lose acceptance because that was the way he had to deal with me. Or else I would always seek validation.
And it's dangerous.
And it's very
actually.
dangerous, so that I can stand in the midst of 100 people and say something. And if nobody's saying, yes, you are right. Yes, God is saying the same thing. I don't feel bothered. I don't care. It doesn't fizzle me out because I know what I heard, right? So for me, again, it also still boils down to my personality, my upbringing, and the kind of family I came from, where we're very individual in our approach and everything. Me and my sister, way apart. In fact, my sister is currently asking me to pray for her, that can she please pray for me? I need friends. Like, I just realized how much friends is important. And I tell her one thing, yes, but for me, I didn't stumble upon this thing. My personality drives the fact that I have friends. I go to people and tell them, I like you. I don't necessarily need to tell
do
you
that
I want
too.
to be your
I do
friend.
that too,
Do you understand?
yes.
I guess I'm
So
the
whenever
different
people
one
tell me
here.
that, how do you meet your friend? and
and
for somebody
it's
like me,
fine.
do you understand?
It's fine.
All my friends, I met them online. I've only seen 2 of my friends face to face.
Oh wow.
And I've been friends with these people for 4
She
years.
have mine though.
Yes. That's the thing. I've been doing so. Somebody was asking me last week, can you do long distance marriage? I said I've been doing long distance friendship for 5 years of my life. You think it's long distance relationship that I cannot handle?
Yeah.
What do you think my friendship is? My friendship is as romantic as a relationship with my partner can be. We are very romantic with each other. We spoil each other. That's the thing. So, and this is the thing I tell people. You think friendship just happened by chance, where it miraculously come into your life because, oh, I'm a good person. I'm not going to like you and be your friend because you're a good person. Because even me, I'm a good person in my own right. Right? What make people come together is the mutual effort between each party to want to
Yes.
be in that relationship.
True.
Yeah.
So when we're talking about how do you find your friends, how do you meet people, there's a need for intentionality to come to
Yes,
play.
move to your
Now,
friends.
I always say this, we're different people. My personality is always one of the things that influence the fact that I don't have a problem with. I, in fact, initiated all my friendship. I joke around and say, I toasted you, don't lie. If I didn't make effort in the first instance, at least for like 1 year of this friendship, I was the one making intentional effort. Before you eventually, judge us. So I will eat your money because I planted the seed. Do you understand? So, but for people that are not like me, who are not necessarily driven to make the first move, initiating things is not their natural response. I always tell them, always pray and ask God for help. And again, another thing again is, which is also one of the things I've learned. The fact that I'm like this does not necessarily mean I'll always be friends with people I want to be friends with. And that's one thing God is teaching me in this season particularly. Because for like the last 4 years, I've seen how good I've been in naturally gravitating towards people, all of this thing. I have amazing friends, influential people, wealthy people, all of these things, right? Without me necessarily doing too much. And God started to teach me that it was me that brought them into your life. So if you start accrediting it to the fact that you're a good person, I'll show you that you can mess up. Do you understand?
Okay, so I love the fact that you talked about intentionality, because the truth is that we have to invest in our relationships and in our tribes, okay? So one of those key things is being intentional. And I just wanted to touch on the fact that for people who always just accept anything or want validation because I want my friend to validate me, or you just want them to accept you, honestly, you're treading on a dangerous path, because it's not, you can't do that. having a tribe means that you connect. Like I always say, you share the same value. If the person does not rate you, auntie, be moving. You understand? Be moving. Don't seek validation from people. In fact, your first validation should always come from God.
Yeah.
That's
True.
what I believe. Don't wait for people's validation. So bringing it back to we investing in our tribes, it's you have to be intentional. I always tell people move to your friends, okay? Do the work and the result will come out.
Definitely.
And make sure that it's not one-sided, because a lot of time we get that when it's just one-sided and the whole thing is heavy, the body's on you and you are wearing out. No, it has to be two-sided. Don't put the load on yourself. Invest and make sure that you are getting your investment
Neutrality is
back.
necessary.
Okay, that's why I said don't be waiting to be accepted. No, because that thing stems from your what's the word again? Low self-esteem.
Yes.
That's it. Insecurities. You have to build your esteem. And that's important. So your esteem is very important when it comes to tribe, because when people sense that you have low self-esteem, it's when you now meet the
There's a
wrong kind of
problem.
people, they will exploit you.
problem.
It's
Exactly.
dangerous. They will exploit you. So whatever you do, try as much as possible to build your self-esteem. Try as much as possible to invest in your friendship, move to your friends. I have a lot of my friends that relocated. We all know the whole relocation thing in Nigeria going on recently, and a lot of my friends, like, it come blessing now, let me in Nigeria, won't let me,
I can relate.
but I'd not let that stop our friendship, because I always tell people I can't relate when you say my friend relocated and we're no more talking.
Yeah.
I say sorry, who are your friends? Because that means there was something wrong with your friendship even before that person moved.
And at times,
Yeah.
who
Because
are you?
I will reach out to them, and the funny thing is that people there, they are not balling like that.
They are not.
To be honest, they are not balling like
They're
that. So
not.
you feeling you're gonna tell, find out the reason why it's going cold or something is wrong. Then you can now sit down and judge or do whatever you want to do. Okay, don't just sit down and say, this way. Find out what the person is your friend now.
Yeah.
Shebi is your tribe. Find out what's going on. How are you? How is that place? How you know? That's what I said. It's two-sided. Even as you're reaching out, they also should also
They're
make
reaching
time.
out.
Because
To
my
reach
friends, I
out.
reach out to them, they reach out to me. We're still the same way. Nothing. I'm sorry. So when people say, my friends, no, I've seen people leave my space and we're still good. So like I said, it's a two-way street.
So I want to speak into, or maybe even ask a question about this conversation about your friends transitioning, and it seems like you're maybe stagnant. It can be transitioning to a new location. It could be getting married. It could be a better job, things like that. But before we get into that, I love how you brought in the dimension of investment, right?
Yeah.
And where I'm at right now is I'm not assuming anything. I'm not thinking anything in my head. I'm not giving that space, right? So if I'm having a conversation with you and the conversation is awkward, come out straight and say,
You address it
this
immediately.
conversation is awkward. What's going on? And not, I don't know what this person is thinking. No. Do you understand? Like, so
Yes.
in your mind, you're already like, I don't know what this person is thinking. I don't know what happened. Why are you being cold towards me? You're not telling the person. You're asking yourself. You're assuming. You're giving yourself answers.
Answers.
And it could just be that the person was having a bad day on
Yeah.
that day. Guess what? It's going to affect how you respond
To
to
that
the
person
person. Yes.
eventually.
So investing in the way that you become open and clear with how you feel, with responses. It may not even be you being confrontational,
Yeah.
really, but just being able to say, I got this feedback from your response. Are we good?
That's why I said, how was your friendship before the person left?
True.
Do you understand? And
Yeah.
a healthy self-esteem is, I always thought, it's very good though. Like, yes, the person is not responding well. To me, I've had cases where I didn't hear from her for like weeks. I was like, this is not the person. Like, we talk all the
Yeah.
time, we share. This
Yeah.
is the kind of relationship we have. I wait it out. And when I finally get through to her, you talk to the person, let them know. And when she told me what was going on, you now say,
You don't feel bad for
Mary,
thinking
calm
the
down
things
now,
you thought.
Yeah. So like I
Yes.
said, how was your relationship back here before the person even left?
And even talking about investment, the need to invest in yourself for the sake
Yes.
of people. that you're in a relationship with.
Yes.
Well, I think
Because
speaking
they
to-
deserve quality friendship.
definitely, and you can't be a quality friend if you're not even good to
if
your
you're
own
not
If you're
self.
not
quality
good to
yourself,
yes.
exactly.
Yes.
Speaking to that subject of transitioning can be locational, geographical, or anything. You can stay in the same
Yes.
space and see if we are
Yes,
apart, and we're all
yes.
going to be in different seasons.
Yeah.
All my friends are getting married. I have a wedding this weekend. I have one in November. I have one in December. All my friends, and these are people that I saw get into a relationship. These are people that would ask me. In fact, one of them, person getting married December, asked me, "What do you think of this person?" And I can remember telling her, "Have you seen this person in this light?" Way before she even told me they were dating. So it's not a matter of they were dating before I met. The people that I saw go through singlehood and now stepping into marriage and all of that. And I'll not lie to you, it weighed me down. Because of all my friends, I am the one that desire marriage the most. I'm not kidding you. I join every prayer. Pray for your spouse.
So how
Don't
did
do
you
this.
deal with that?
Exactly. So what happened for me is having honest conversations.
Okay.
I spoke with one of them. I don't want to mention him that is getting married in November. It became very obvious that all our conversation was centered around marriage. And I told her, if every single time we call, you're never asking me anything about me, marriage is nothing happening in my life right now. So it seems like every single conversation we are having is around marriage. I'm not getting married, so why am I having conversation about marriage, about the furniture you want to buy? It's not my business. At that point, I was speaking from anger and pain. But the fact that we have a vulnerable relationship where I can be honest about my feelings with them, I didn't bother and I didn't mince my words. I was very clear to her. If every time you call me, the conversation is going to be centered around marriage, I'm sorry, I'm not going to be picking your call. Let's talk about a whole lot of things, because it now looks like you guys are excluding me from things, because now there are things about my own life. I'm currently job hunting. I'm trying to build my career. Nobody's talking about that. Nobody's asking me how I'm dealing with NYC. Everybody's abroad, moving on with their masters, getting married. You're talking about the birth control. How does it affect me? But I was able to have that conversation because we have a very honest relationship. And again, I didn't have that conversation with a judging heart because I felt they were trying to do it intentionally to spite me.
Because they weren't.
They weren't.
Yeah.
And in fact, one of them told me that I don't think we should talk about marriage for now. In fact, I won't tell you anything about marriage plans for the next 1 month. I said, good, I appreciate it. When I get to a place where I feel like my heart can't handle it, I'll come on board. And I bet with you, I designed their wedding website, every single thing. Wrote the story of how she met her partner, because she does not like to write. I write a lot. So I just told her, send me voice notes. I'll listen to them and craft a story from that. Because I got to a place where my heart was now genuinely ready to have those conversations. And then the other one, I told her, I said, see, this is the thing I'm realizing about this thing. The fact that you're relocating. Again, most of my friends, I didn't meet them when they were relocating. I met them after they relocated. They've even relocated way before I met. Some of them they gave birth to them there. But one thing that helped me is that honest desire to just see them grow. So anytime we have conversation, they know that conversation was not coming from a place of jealousy.
Yes.
Or coming from a place of self-esteem,
True.
self-esteem problem. Never. It's not a thing with me. But all of those things. So I always just tell people, be honest with what you're feeling. And again, have honest conversations with your friend. And again, it depends on the kind of friends you have at the end
So
of the
I was
day.
going to ask, right? I saw a video last week. Someone I know, not going to say a friend, but our relationship for now is transactional. So I
And
pay,
it's okay.
and it's okay,
Honestly.
right? So she shared something. She was saying how that, when say a friend is getting married or a major event is happening in their lives, or maybe they are traveling, right? And they don't tell you about it. So she was saying really that before she used to think that it wasn't major. Like if they don't tell you, maybe life happened, they were busy, maybe, she just had her excuses for what could lead to your not telling me. And then it happened to her.
Exactly.
A close friend was having a major event.
I didn't tell her.
The friend didn't tell her. A mutual friend reached out to her to get products
From her
for
that
the
event.
sake of that event. And that was how she found out. And the event happened. Most of mutual friends were at
there.
the event, and she wasn't there. She has not mentioned it. She has not talked about it, but she can't deny that she's hurt. What can you say about that?
For me, I'll say, I always tell people, if they don't tell you, don't ask. like I said, your relationship, how is that relationship first? Everything boils down to that. But for me, they don't tell you, don't ask.
So
Okay.
so does that mean that I can conclude that the person not telling me means I'm not important in their
Don't
lives?
conclude, don't assume, and let it be. Later on, you can reach out. It depends on the kind of friends. You can reach out later. I have two people abroad. This same thing. One did not tell us, left. One told me. But guess what? The one that didn't even tell later on now, we are still great. So don't assume. You can just probably wait it
So
out a
when you
bit
think
and ask later.
so when you think about the
Because
fact
you
that
have
she
a
didn't
right to,
tell
if
you,
your relationship is really, solid, you
Yeah.
have a right to ask, maybe probably later. Something might have happened. Don't assume.
yeah. So my question is, when you think about the fact that you were not informed about the major events in their lives, how does that make you feel? Even though you guys are okay.
You become self-aware of the situation on ground.
No, but then
I think
because I think okay, please share.
I would say
you put them in their place, honestly.
at the end of the day,
Where's
why
their
I would not
place?
say don't assume. I don't two things I don't do. I don't make
assume.
excuse for people. I don't
Yes,
assume.
yes.
So I'm not going to be whipping up stories in my head about why you did what you do.
Yes.
I would confront it because I'm naturally somebody
And
that
if
likes
you
to
don't
have
confront it, you are aware that, see, this person didn't tell me.
why
Just leave it
why
there.
I
You
would
already
say
know your
confront
place.
it is because
So,
again, you can never be so sure of what had happened. I want to have clarity so that whatever decision I'm making, because you're not just anybody to me. You're not just my classmate. You're my friend, my family.
Yeah.
So it's the same as my sister relocating and not telling me.
that's why I say sometimes just take a step back and wait it out. Then ask. Get clarification. But at the same time, it makes you aware that, okay, this person didn't tell me.
And I adjust
Yes,
accordingly.
exactly.
And
Then you
now
adjust, that's the
reposition.
word.
Because like I said earlier, people can be your your inner circle, and then at some season they can move from inner circle to
Yes,
just acquaintance or
yes.
people you know
Yes.
to colleagues or just business partners. Doesn't change the fact that we're good.
You can
it just
always
means our
transition
seasons are
tribes,
different, and
actually.
some things might have happened that have caused the dynamics of our relationship to change. But one thing I would never do is just let things and say, oh, because
It
you did this to
happened.
me, happened. I will address it. Because honestly, I love people giving me the space of doubt. So I will give you that same thing I want you to do to me.
Yeah.
Then when I clarify with you, and it's like I can see from all things with my own senses to that, okay, you can't tell me you forget anyways though.
Okay. So in
I'm
all,
of the opinion.
okay. If you
I'm
wanna say-
sorry. So I'm of the opinion, right, that relationships are important,
Very.
right? And there's no way we can do life in this world without
anyone,
people.
yes.
In
Someone is an
fact,
island,
I
actually.
believe that God set this in order. He put it here so that I can thrive in whatever He has told me to do.
Yes.
You can thrive in whatever He has told you to do.
Yes.
So we shouldn't come to a place where it's as though things are complicated.
Yeah.
I have a friend who we just fell off after I got married. We fell off. And we were there for some time till we had to talk, like, what happened? What's this thing? What's going on here? And we talked it out, but we never came back
Because some
to
things
where
just
we
never
used to
what
be.
it is.
Do
It
you
happens.
understand? So, but it's very important that before we get to that point of maybe I
done
was
my
never
best
important to
to this
you,
person.
you need to understand why the person did what they did, because it means that we'll continue to repeat this pattern with
didn't
other
even get
people that the Lord
closure.
sends into our. In fact, I feel like we can't exhaust this topic.
This conversation,
Yeah.
This
there's a lot that we
conversation
don't
is
even talk
deep,
about
is
yet.
a lot.
It's
Yeah.
deep.
Is
But
a
all
lot.
I'll say in all and in conclusion is, one, be intentional about your tribe.
Relationship.
Yes.
Be very intentional. Move to your friends. Do not assume.
Mm-hmm.
Have those honest conversations,
Conversations,
and please
very
also
important.
be that support system that you want to
Please.
you want to
You want
have.
to
Yes,
receive from
invest in your
others.
relationship so that you
Yeah.
can get your investments back. All right, guys, thank you so much. Today has been awesome. I like this
Amazing.
topic so much.
I
But
do,
until
I
next
do.
time, we'll see you on the Unfiltered
Podcast.
Podcast.
Bye, everyone.
Sorry, lighter.